Hi everyone. Hello. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining today's live. Thank you for joining on a Sunday. I'll try to keep it short. I just want to share some tips on how you can find clients through LinkedIn. So, hi Amy Mish. I'm good. Thank you. So, hi to everyone who's saying hi. So this I shared about a new list of topics that are you interested in those, and I think I got like a 95 to 97% yes on all the topics, which is very interesting, which is great. So I just want to start with one of the most demanded topics. I think around 170, 180 of you said yes to this one, to finding clients on LinkedIn. So I want to help you out because this is, of course, a question I get so many times, that how do I find clients? How do I do that? Where do I find clients? What platform do I use? If I use LinkedIn, then how do I do that? And I very broadly do say that, I've talked about it. I've said that, be consistent on LinkedIn, post on LinkedIn, things like that. But I want to really dig deep into it, and I really want to focus on exactly what you can do to start getting clients right from now. So what can you just get up and do right after this live so that you can, close more deals, get more clients, work for more people, work with more people, and make more money. So there are a few things, and you should probably take notes because this is definitely going to work for you. This is definitely going to help you. So I have been, experimenting, and basically what I'm going to share with you now is almost 2 years of experimentation, and then giving you the best ways that worked for me, and I am definitely certain that they will work for you too. So so let's begin. So how do you find clients on LinkedIn? So the first thing is to understand how can LinkedIn help you, and why am I talking about LinkedIn? Why am I not talking about Instagram? Why am I not talking about Facebook or Twitter? Why am I specifically talking about LinkedIn? So there are a few reasons. Of course, firstly, that LinkedIn is a very professional platform, which means brands are present, individuals are present, companies are present on LinkedIn. So if you are, especially a freelancer in any creative field, if you are, into writing or designing or app development, web development, things like that, you would like to approach people who are at a decision-making position, who are companies and not just individuals. And this is something you can do on LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn, everyone is like, a professional. Whereas on Instagram, you may even have kids, you may even have, grandparents and things like that who may not be working or may not require your services. That's why LinkedIn, first of all. And the second reason is because, of course, LinkedIn has a very high organic reach. So if you create content, if you put it out there, and if you stick to it, then of course you will see a growth in engagement. You will see that you're getting visibility in front of thousands and maybe even hundreds of thousands of people every single day. And you will see that that the access is global. So you're not just approaching somebody within your city or within your country. It's anywhere in the world. So that's another very beneficial point. And finally, why LinkedIn? It's because you can approach people across hierarchies. So when we talk about LinkedIn, it's not just having your colleagues on there. It's not just having your teammates on there. It's everyone. It's right from having what do you call it? People, employees of companies, to bosses and managers and even CEOs and founders. So all the hierarchy is present on LinkedIn, which means that you can approach them very easily, and that you can you can get an approval and get a lead directly as a decision maker. So that's going to work for you as well. So these are the reasons why I'm going to talk about LinkedIn specifically. And now I'm going to share three ways that you can get clients on LinkedIn. I think that these can also be expanded to different platforms, but again, for reasons that I mentioned before, I'm going to stick to LinkedIn. So first is the inbound leads. This is, I think, 99% of the leads I get. So this is the kind of people I work with. 99% are inbound leads. So what does inbound lead mean? An inbound lead means somebody who is coming to you and asking you to work for them, to provide your services. So you are not going and telling them that you do something, but they come to you and they say that they need your services. So that's inbound lead. And how do you do that? That's something that I've discussed all the time. That's something I've been saying from day one. And that is just create content on LinkedIn and put it out there. So create content, be consistent, keep posting, be regular, and stick to it long term. So those are the ways to get inbound leads. So what this does is, for me, for example, it's been almost 2 years now since I first started posting on LinkedIn. So in these 2 years, what I have done is I have experimented with the kind of content. I've put out content at least 2 to 3 times a week, and then I grew up the frequency. I have been doing that for almost 2 years consistently. I've taken breaks when required, but I've always come back to it. I've not taken a break longer than say 2 or 3 days. And once I have an idea, again, I've always come back to it. So in that sense, I have stuck to LinkedIn. I've stuck to a platform and I have grown there on LinkedIn. So the number one thing is to be consistent, because when you are consistent and you create a lot of content, you're putting a lot of content out there, it increases your engagement, it increases your visibility. And when that happens, it means that more people are seeing you, more people are seeing your work, more people are seeing your expertise, your skills, your experience. Most importantly, most people are seeing your commitment to LinkedIn. So now many people who approach me as inbound leads say that, we have been observing your work for 2 to 3 months now. We have been seeing that you post regularly, that you're committed to LinkedIn, that that your engagement is consistent and it's growing and your writing style is evolving. So those are the things that matter, that progress matters, that you're scaling up something as simple as the kind of content you're putting out there, that matters. So, and it doesn't only matter for you as just an individual, as a content creator. It matters for your leads also, to check your work, to understand whether you are someone they want to work with, and to also, of course, see your commitment. If you can commit to something for yourself, if I can commit to LinkedIn for myself, then the client knows that, okay, I can commit to their work as well. Because if I'm showing dedication at least to something that matters to me, that is mine, then I can show, then they get the idea that if she can do it for herself, then she can do it for us as well. So that's why creating content is so important. And another thing very important in this subsection of creating content is putting out relevant content. So when I create content, of course, I write a lot about my daily experiences. I write about going grocery shopping. I write about exams. I write about, things that happen, like when I miss the bus, or when I have a conversation in the bus, or when I pitch in college, and what I studied in lectures. So yes, I do write a lot about that. But at the same time, I focus a lot on my skill set. My skill set is content writing. So I post a lot about client stories. I post a lot about myself as a content writer, as what I have done for my clients, as what I'm working on right now, what my month looked like, and something broader even for freelancers. So I just don't write only for clients, but tips for freelancers as to how you can work and grow your freelancing business, things like that. So that's relevant content, because then if anyone sees my content, either the content is directly about content writing and so they know I'm a content writer, or that piece of content is written so well that anybody who sees that will say that, yes, this person is a writer, and yes, this person is somebody I want to hire. So that's also how it works. It shows my skills, and it also shows the services I'm providing by talking about them. So that's the first way to get inbound leads, and that is through content creation. That's very helpful. Second thing is to contact people, those who need your services. So many times while you're just going through your feed, you may see people who write that they're looking for freelance content writers, they're looking for freelance developers, they're looking for interns. So what you can do is you can just scroll through your feed every single day, give probably like 5 minutes every few hours, just so that you keep seeing fresh content. And then when you're putting out then when you keep checking, you will see some, at least one post you will definitely see in a day about somebody who's looking for a freelancer, who's looking for a content creator, who's looking for someone who does what you do. So what you do is you simply check their post, check their profile, kind of understand if you need to if you can do it, and then you message them. You can just send them a connection request, and then you can personalize the message saying, hey Shreya, saw that you're looking for a content writer. I would definitely love to write for you. Can we discuss further? So this is it. Hey Shreya, saw that you're looking for a content writer. I would love to write for you. Can we discuss this further? That's it. That's the simplest message you need to write. There has to be no research from your side. There has to be no full-fledged pitch. You don't have to put in the effort of, thinking of the scope of work, giving prices, nothing like that. Just drop a message and ask them if they are willing to take the conversation further. So that's something you can do. That's something you can do right now. After the live, please don't leave now. But as soon as you have time, you can just scroll through your feed. Anyone who says that they're looking for a service that you provide, just contact them, just connect with them. You can just connect with them, that's fine. And tell them that you're willing to do that. If things work out, great. If they don't work out, it's okay. You have them in mind for the future, and they have you in mind for the future, so they know that you approach them. And if there's anything else, maybe 2-3 months or a year down the line, they'll probably approach you first and ask you whether you're for your work or anything like that. So that's how you can get some clients who are looking for your services. Another thing in this, what you could do is you could look up hashtags in the search tab relevant to your field. So for example, I would look up for things like freelance writer, freelance content writer, writing, web content. So any keywords that somebody might use while they are posting, with, that they're looking for a service and they use a certain hashtag. So what you can do is just look up those hashtags, and then you see the post, and there will be a few posts here and there. Maybe a month old, maybe a 2-month-old post. That's also fine. You can still message them. And those posts will be about them looking for someone like you, maybe. So that's how you can message them as well. Same process. Just tell them you saw the post and ask them if they're still looking for somebody to help them out with that. And share your work and tell them how you can help them. So that's it. That's how you do the second part of how you approach people who are already looking for your services. So the first thing was inbound leads. So the inbound leads are the strongest kind of leads, of course, because if they're approaching you, they know what they want. They know they need your content. So the chances of, them converting are 50-50. Either they like your work and things work out well, so yes, they will hire you, or they don't like your work or whatever. Things don't work out and they won't. So there's a 50% chance that things will work out. And most inbound leads tend to convert for me. I think that can happen for you as well. So that's for inbound leads. And when it comes to you contacting people who are looking for services, I would say there's like a 70-30 chance, because when somebody puts out that kind of post, it normally means they may end up getting a lot of messages from people. And then their decision-making factor may change from, skills and expertise to maybe cost, to maybe budget. And because they have so many options, they may go in for the cheapest one. And you may not be fitting in that position. So I think when you are approaching someone who needs certain services, your conversion rate may be lower than when you have inbound leads. That's the second thing. And the third thing is cold messaging. So cold messaging, I would say, has the lowest chances of conversion, because of course you're just messaging someone out of the blue, because you don't know whether they'll convert or not. You don't know whether they even need your services. But what you're doing is you're just trying to put in some effort and figuring things out for yourself, whether you can help them in some way, and telling them how you can help them, and then hoping that things work out and they hire you. So some tips for cold messaging would be, so first is to pick a niche. So suppose I pick a niche, say I pick, suddenly I can't think of any niche. Suppose I pick marketing. Suppose I pick digital marketing as a niche. So what I do is I would go to the search tab. I would type in those keywords, and I would look for people who are decision makers in the digital marketing field. So I would look for, say, founders, CEOs, managers, somebody who can decide whether they can hire me or not. So I will just connect with them. Maybe just connect, that's it, leave it there, that's fine. Then, we'll just stay in touch and they can see my posts. That works out as well. Or what I can do is I can check their profile, I can check their company, I can check the company website. And then once I check the company website and I review the website basically, probably in just 2 minutes, just a very generic review. And then I would go in and message that person saying, hi, I checked out your website. It's a very good website, and this works out well. I think that these are so you tell them, hi, I checked your website, these things are good. Then you say that this is something that I would like to recommend for you, and these are the benefits of my recommendation, and and I can do this for you because I'm an expert in this, because I've done this for XYZ other companies. Does this interest you? So let me give you an example with an actual draft message that I would send. So if I am contacting somebody who is in the digital marketing field for, say, articles, okay? So what I'll do is I'll look at their articles and I'll go and message them. Hi there, I checked out your website and your blog. The content is really relevant and it's working out very good. That's a great work on there. But I noticed that you haven't posted regularly since the past 1 month. I'm sure you understand the importance of SEO, and you understand the importance of having good content that actually helps your viewers, and the importance of having a regularly updated blog. So I would like to help you achieve that. This is my work. You can check my work here. Does this interest you? The most important question to ask is, does this interest you? I get so many cold messages from other newbie freelance writers who just, who say that they want to start writing, they don't know how to start, and they want me to give them opportunity. And the kind of messages I get from them are something like, hey, I'm a new writer, I don't have much experience, I would like to learn from you. And this is my charge, can you hire me? And I don't think this is very interesting because, first of all, the message itself does not seem to be well written. The message should show the skills. If you're a writer, your message itself should show your writing skills. And that is missing. That's the first thing that throws me off. And the second thing is, I am not interested yet. But if you tell me your cost straight up, then even if I was interested, I would start making a decision in my mind based on the cost. And that would make you lose the opportunity. So what I would recommend is always end your cold pitch with, does this interest you, or do you find this interesting? Is this something you would like to discuss more on? Because this does not narrow down your prospects' thoughts on just the pricing. It keeps a wider perspective, and they end up seeing your content as well. They end up seeing your work as well. So that's how it works out for cold messaging. And you know what? That's it. Because that's all there is to getting leads on LinkedIn. And that's all there is to finding clients and making money through this platform, where you can approach anyone and everyone with just a click of a button. So a quick recap for 3 ways that you can get clients on LinkedIn. First is inbound leads. So you just put out a lot of relevant content and people will come in. So that's inbound leads. Second is you contact those who need your services. So you look at posts that say that they're hiring freelancers or they're hiring people in your niche, and you just message them and see how that goes. Third thing is cold messaging. So you pick a niche, you find as many people as possible, and or at least send out 10 cold messages a day. Find the decision makers, approach them, review their work, approach them, and tell them how you can benefit them, and ask them whether that proposal of yours interests them or not. So that's how you can find leads and find clients on LinkedIn. And this is something you can start like right now, like right after the session. You can go and start doing this on LinkedIn. So I'm sure that it'll work out well for you. And mainly focus on inbound leads. So mainly focus on content creation. Start with the other two for now, but your main aim should be inbound leads, because those are very valuable leads. Those are those are people who have reviewed your work, who followed your work, who genuinely like your work and are only there contacting you because they saw your work and they like it. So their decision of approaching you is purely based on their requirements and purely based on your skills. So if you really want to get good quality, valuable clients who end up being long term, who end up being people who even are good to work with and very welcoming to work with, then I would definitely recommend you going for inbound leads, because that works the best. So that's all there is. And the sunlight is back. So that's all there is for today's live. So I'll be taking around 5 to 10 minutes of a Q&A. So you can drop your questions in the comment section on the questions tab, whatever suits you best. And I'll answer some questions. Please make sure the questions are very relevant to today's topic. Make sure the questions are relevant to finding clients on LinkedIn. And the other ones, you can check out my other IGTV videos, or you can check out the future videos, because I'm probably going to cover that anyways. So yeah, I'm just going to answer some questions that I know I already have. It's a bad decision to sit in a black t-shirt in front of the window. Prachi is saying DMing requires LinkedIn Premium. You don't have it. It's okay. If honestly, it does not just require premium, because you can still send a personalized note. That's good enough. If you're approaching someone who's post, you've seen that they're looking for services same as yours. If anything else, you can always connect with them first and then message them later. So that works as well. It's okay. You don't need a premium really. What if you want to write in specific niche? So Abhishek, I'm assuming your name is Abhishek. So what you can do is you can just find people in that specific niche, like I suggested in the cold messaging part of it. If you missed it, you can probably check out this video again once it's saved on my profile and see how that goes for you. Okay. What are outbound leads, Vidura? Those are somebody who you are approaching. So I think I would say cold message. Anybody who you cold message are outbound leads, because you are approaching them. So what if someone is a fresher and doesn't have companies to name? Mind panorama. You do not need to have companies to name. I never name companies. I never name my clients while I'm sending or while I'm pitching to anyone. If they ask for a work portfolio, I share that, but I don't need to share company names or client names. I just share my experience and that I'm interested in writing for them. So that's all. I see that Abmani is answering all the questions, which is good, but I'm here. Mahansi Arora, what is the best way to share your published work when someone approaches you for a job? Probably make a good link. So just make a link, probably like a link for a Google Drive with all your work in it. You can try something like Tree Link, Tap Link. In those, you can add different tabs which people can click and review the work. So I use Tap Link. You can check that out, taplink.cc. That's what I use to share my work portfolio. And of course, website. I also share my website link. That helps as well. What is client retention? Client retention, Vidura, as the term suggests, is when you retain a client long term. So you work on, say, a retainer basis. That's one option, where you work monthly, regularly, and a long-term consistent work. And just in general, client retention is you having the capacity to retain that client and work with them long-term. So based on your experience with the client or based on the kind of service you provide, it's like customer loyalty. So if you are a good service provider, then every time that client needs content, they should come to you. If you aren't, then you won't have a good client retention, and they might end up going to someone else. So that's where service quality of services is very important. How does timing matter when posting on LinkedIn? Just post when your audience is awake. That's all. Sagi is asking, is it unrealistic to expect fellow writers to pass on references? I get a lot of writers asking for references on LinkedIn. That's very common. Honestly, I get a lot of references also from a lot of freelancers I know. When if they have found someone in a niche that they are not comfortable with, and they ask me, would this be something you are willing to take up? And then they share the link with me, or they share my number with them, things like that. So it's normal. It's not unrealistic to expect it. But I think it's best to not ask someone to do that. Like, I wouldn't ask you that, can you please refer me? I would just, do my thing. And if you think that I'm worth a reference, then you can do it for me. So I wouldn't ask you for a reference. Posting content on LinkedIn helps. Yes, Ishika. If you missed the starting of the video, I would suggest you watch it once it's saved later, because I've covered everything on that. Is it worth spending on LinkedIn Sales Navigator? I would say avoid it for now. Maybe start making money through LinkedIn, and when you have made money through LinkedIn, you can invest it in the same place. So first, make enough money to at least cover that LinkedIn Sales Navigator cost, and then you can decide whether you want to spend on it or not. What if there are too many inbound leads? I'm sorry, your name is very long. I cannot read it out. If there are too many inbound leads, not everyone will convert, honestly, because of course there are many decision-making factors. People like your work, people approach you, but then there are things like work hours, their expectations, the niche, the scope of work, the fees. The fees is of course one of the biggest decision-making factors. So even if there are too many inbound leads, it's actually good. It means that if 100% people are saying yes to you, or even like more than 80% people are saying yes to you, that means you should increase your prices and then repeat the whole process again. How did you find your first client? Was that also inbound? Yes, my first 4 clients were actually inbound, because I put up my first post on LinkedIn, which went viral. And from that, a lot of people messaged me that they're looking for content, and 4 people were converted from that one post. So that was how I began. And yes, that was inbound, Manvi. Can you take a live about building a portfolio? Yes, I'll do that. I'll do that as well soon. Best types of content to get inbound leads. I've already spoken about that while I was referring to the point. So please go back and watch it once it's saved. Vidura is saying, I don't ever talk about myself when I personalize invite. I praise their work and just write, would love to connect. That's good, actually. That's a good way to do it. But that's okay if you're connecting with people. But if you know that somebody's looking for content, and if you know that, you are expecting them to hire you, then of course you need to say that you're interested in the role and that you would like to discuss further. So in that sense, you do need to pitch. Definitely. Do you think content writing industry is saturated? Honestly, Deepak, it's just a very heavy word to say saturated, unsaturated. Doesn't really matter. If you want to write, just write. That's it. Abmani, I really appreciate you putting out so much just random information here about LinkedIn. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. Cam Gautam is saying, I'm not getting likes more than 10, but 1,000 plus views for the post so far. What should I infer from this? See, normally a conversion is 2%. So if you have 1,000 likes, you should have 2%. If you have 1,000 views, you should have 2% likes. If you have 100 views, you should have 2% likes. So that's the ratio normally. And what you have to do is just keep posting a lot of content, because consistency wins in the long term. What if even your frequent posts are not getting you clients? Then Ayushi, you need to change something. You need to review everything you've been doing, everything you've been posting, pick out what's working for you, and then revise that and create a new plan and experiment with that. So changing is important. I'm getting clients, but somehow after starting work, they disappear. How to convert them into leads? Manisha, if they disappear after starting the work, you're doing one thing wrong, and that is you're not charging them in advance. So always charge an advance payment. Anybody who's watching this or watching any of my content should know that advance payment is important. So please go do that. If they are disappearing before starting work, it's fine. But after starting work, then you should definitely charge an advance. Then they won't. Krati is asking, what is your opinion on cold pitching over inbound marketing? I already shared that as well, so you can check that out. Okay. What kind of people or designation I need to search to get appropriate clients? Saloni is asking this. I prefer, again, as I said, I prefer decision makers. So decision makers would mean somebody who's at a founder or a manager position who can actually make a decision whether to hire me or not. So that's very helpful. So go in for that. And one more question is, help with an appropriate niche I can use to post on LinkedIn. Whatever you are into, I've already shared that I post a lot about, of course, my everyday life, but then I also post a lot about content writing, freelancing, clients experiences, and the results I've gotten for my clients, things like that. So very relevant to the niche, but also just generally about myself as well. So that's what works for me. You can give that a shot too. Megha is asking, what is the conversion rate of cold pitching? It depends completely on the way you pitch, the kind of brand you have. So it depends a lot on what you do. So there's no standard for conversion rate. It could be 1%, it could be 10%, it could even be 50% or 80%. So there's no limit as such. So just give it a shot, keep evolving your message, because again, you have to experiment, see which kind of message converts the best. And a lot of cold pitching has to do with psychology. You have to understand the psyche, that how people think, what interests them, what puts them off, what makes them want to talk to you more, what makes them want to really approach you and work with you. So I would definitely recommend that through experience or just through common sense, honestly, understand what people want and then pitch accordingly. And that's how you can build on the conversion rate. And Geeta is asking for any keywords to find potential clients. Again, I shared that earlier. I use keywords like hashtag freelancer, freelancing, content writer, hire a freelancer, things like that. Whatever's relevant to my field, just use that. So you can use whatever's relevant to your field and see how that goes for you. Ayushi is saying, as someone said earlier, what if as a rookie in the field of content writing for money, I'm intimidated by the number of greater content creators out there? How will I make myself visible? For this, you definitely need to check out my Mindset live. Check that out. And that is going to change how you think about this. So go check that out first. I'm not answering this here. Should I write a post about my personal hashtag to make people aware of it? You can do that. It's a good way of, just having some content as well. For the days that you don't have content, so you can just post about that. That works as well. So you can go in for that, or that works. Sorry, I zoned out. I was reading on the question, but yeah, that works as well. Okay, that's all. Money is yet again saying that just start, that every great content creator was once a beginner. Yes, that's true. That's true. Everyone was once a beginner. But you know what? There's also this one thing that we think we tend to undervalue ourselves as a beginner. It's true that, we also started at some point, but knowing at what level and at what value to start from, even as a beginner, that's a different game altogether. And for that, again, I would definitely recommend you going in for the Mindset video, because that really helps you change that idea. Zen Copywriter is asking, what's your take on excessively clickbaity headlines? I think there's either clickbait or there's no clickbait. There's no excessive as such. I always go in for click-worthy headlines over clickbaity headlines, because click-worthy headlines are so much nicer. They're just worth it. So any of my LinkedIn posts you see, the first line is always a click-worthy headline, and no fake promises, just a good thing that hooks you into reading more about the story. So that's all. Could you have on the live on the psychology of the clients you mentioned? I will consider that. Yes, sure. Honestly, these are very skeptical topics for me to do lives on, because psychology, when you think of it's an actual thing, it's an actual science, and there's an actual way it works. But everything is based on my experience, and every single day I find out a new thing about like the freelancing mindset, or just generally even the psychology of clients. So it's a lot of based on experience. So even if I explain it, it's good to know, good to be aware of, but it's not definite that it would work for you. So I will consider that live, but for now you can still check out the mindset video. Adi Kumar Pandey is asking what to do if clients require native writers only. Skip them. You can't do anything if that is their rule, and if they are not going to listen, whether even if you have experience and things like that, just don't waste your time over there. Move on to find someone who doesn't care about such things. And how can I gain experience in copywriting? Mind Panorama, you can just write a lot, and that will give you experience in copywriting. So there are a few posts of mine that I've written previously on LinkedIn, on Instagram, where I've shared about how you can start copywriting. Please check that out, and I'm sure that will help you. So I guess that's it for today. Hope this helped you out. Hope this helps you find clients on LinkedIn. As usual, do message me and tell me how you like this live, whether this was helpful, what topic should I consider next, and give this a shot. Give all these 3 methods a shot. Let me know how that works out for you, how that converts for you, and we'll see. So please share that. Simran Puri has a last question, so I'm waiting. How to choose one particular niche when you are good at multiple niches? Anything that you like, anything that you find the best, your favorite niche. Because I have written over like 40 niches, so I don't really have a niche as such as a writer. But there are some things I particularly like. Like I really enjoy writing about LinkedIn marketing. I like writing personal stories for my clients. So those things I really enjoy. And those are my favorites. So whatever works out for you. S Magician is saying, you're looking amazing today. Thank you. And do share your tips on presentation like you mentioned in one of the stories. I will do that soon. Yes. Okay, finally I'm done. Thank you so much for watching today's live. It will be saved on IGTV. You can still check it out there. And yes, let me know what you think about it. Let me know how the leads work out for you and how LinkedIn works out for you. So that's it for today. Thank you so much once again, and stay home. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.